Hello and welcome to Loon Lovers Live, where we are chatting with fans of the Game Changers series and the cast and crew of the heated Rivalry TV show. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Anne, and today we are meeting with Jenny Mack to talk about her experience with the show. Jenny Mack is the script supervisor for Heated Rivalry and also worked on Sort of, which you may remember Ashley Irish Gill recommending us Heated Rivalry fans check out that show as well. Welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome.
I love that you mentioned sort of. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. Yeah, Ashley was talking it up, so.
It's definitely one of my favorites on my resume. It's a great
Oh,
show.
wow. Awesome. Tell us where we can find you on social media.
Oh, I am on Instagram. My handle is Jenny from McGlock. Mac is a nickname, short for McLaughlin. Um, and that's kind of it. I don't really do social outside of Instagram, but I do post quite a bit, and that includes some behind the scenes and lots of my dog. So
Love
hot
that.
content.
Perfect content.
Yes.
And also very good to stay away from all the other socials. Just stay right there. Nice, comfy zone. Yes.
I'm okay with it. I'm feeling
Yeah.
pretty good about it.
And can you tell us where you're from?
Toronto has been home for quite some time now. I did grow up, I was born in Edmonton, grew up in North Vancouver, and then childhood and beyond in Oakville, Ontario. But then I do always refer to BC as my home. That's where I went to university. I spent my summers out there. Uh, but yeah, has been home for at least I think 2 decades now. So
Oh, wow.
I am a Toronto.
How did you get into the world of film and TV? Were you always interested in continuity, or did that interest evolve over time while working on sets?
It came pretty honestly. One year when my dad got a Christmas bonus for work, he bought a camcorder that quickly fell into my brother's and my hands. And fast forward, the oldest brother went to film school, or school for film, I should say. Um, and he's now an editor. My
Oh,
middle brother is a colorist, and I picked the one job that's affiliated to post production, but is a lot more social and on set as opposed to in a dark, cold, empty room.
that's fun.
Just a little different. Yeah.
A
Yeah,
little different, but we do kind of there's a lot of overlap between what they do and I do. So um, it's nice. It's very convenient for me and gives me a little bit of an upper hand.
that's cool. Very cool that it's a family affair.
It
Yes.
is, yes.
Do you work on some of the same projects
Oh, yeah.
together or?
We have my middle brother who's a colorist. We did a movie called Paying for It that Sukyin Lee directed, also based on a graphic novel. Um, and a few other things. My oldest brother and I had a slight overlap on the movie Megalopolis. My brother was the editor, and I spent 2 weeks training the script supervisor how to get into the digital world. She was Francis Ford Coppola's longtime scriptie, but she hadn't worked with the technical side of things. So that was the closest we kind of came to working together.
Still very cool. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I hope one day we actually get to do like a passion project that we're all creatively behind.
That would be
That'd be
amazing.
great.
Yeah, I just joke because usually when people say, "How did you get into film?" I say if I ever made my own production company, it would be called Bad Babysitters because that's what my parents were to us as kids, just throwing on movies and letting us fantasize off in a corner.
It worked out.
Yeah, it paid
Yes,
off.
yes.
So I know there are a lot out there in the book world who might be going, "What is a script supervisor?" And hearing about this for the first time. Can you tell us a little bit more about what your job entails?
Yeah, so I commonly refer to it as like the eyes, ears, and voice of the editor on set. A lot of people recognize the job via continuity. But essentially, I'm just there because we don't shoot everything chronologically. Heated Rivalry is a great example of we shot things that played in 2008 towards the middle of filming, and then we shot things that happened later, earlier. I think the first thing we shot was Las Vegas.
Right. Yes.
Um, so, just keeping track of everything, i.e., Connor's Russian versus English. I remember there was a day on the arena where he was giving his room number, and I think it's like 1410.
10. Oh, I remember.
1410. 1410.
1410. And he wanted to say 1410, and I had to remind him your English isn't that good, so it should be like 1410 or whatever we settled on. So, yeah, it's keeping track of emotional progress of a character, then the physical interaction with things, with continuity, and then keeping on the script. So just if lines are dropped or an action beat is missed, I nudge the director and say, "We need that. We've got to get this." So that's primarily what I do.
Very cool.
So that must have been why when Connor is skating past Hudson and Francois at the All Star game, he says 1-2-2-1.
Yes.
That's that. Yes, that was me.
That was you. You did that. I love that.
Yeah, yeah.
Very cool.
With the constant approval and okay through Jacob, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so how did you find out about Heated Rivalry? And did you know what you were walking into before you took the job?
Um, no. I did know I did know that there was this genre of books that had become quite popular. Um, and then one day someone said, "Hey, the guy who did Letterkenny is going to call you and interview you for a job." And um, I said, "What's it about?" And they said, "It's queer hockey." And I said, "Great, I'm in."
I love that.
Um, and then I met Jacob, and I think our best compliment working together was within like a day or two. People are like, "So you guys always work together?"
Aw.
And yeah, it was the first conversation we had was really warm and funny and friendly. And I just knew that whatever we were about to walk into was going to be special. So that was really the only inclination, like, this is going to be something, period. Um, did I know that the whole world, up to like the other night, Jon Stewart was going to reference it, like in monologues? No, not at all. I think New Year's Eve, when, the Andes were talking about Heated Rivalry, I'm like, is this really happening? Like
Yeah, it's
our little
wild.
show that could? Yeah. So no, definitely no expectations and just like a lot of joy and yeah, I'm so happy. I'm so happy for the boys and um yeah, no clue what was coming.
And this is still happening.
And
And
continues to
still,
happen.
I know Mr. Story's gonna be on SNL this weekend. I think it's this weekend.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, Rachel was joking about it at the premiere, like that would be something crazy that would never happen, and then that is it.
I mean, it ultimately makes sense because of just how much. I mean, I don't know if it makes sense, but there was so much love and joy on that set that the only outcome was going to be positive. Even if it just meant that we were coming back for a second season, it was such a special, unique bond between everyone. I've never had that experience on a set before. I've had really nice times, but just the days were short, which was done by design, and for people who don't understand or appreciate, we typically do over 12-hour days on set,
Wow.
and that doesn't include travel. It doesn't include the lunch hour. So, you could be leaving your home and coming back like 16 hours, and that's normal. But Jacob and his producing partner, Brendan, made sure we did 10-hour days. So we got to go home, we got to see our families, we got to sleep, and then we would show up the next day being like, okay, that was a gift for me. Now I'll give you whatever you need. I will work
Oh.
harder, I will work faster, and I'll do it with a smile on my face. So that was really unique. So it's so rewarding that the world appreciates what we put into it.
Love
The
that.
gift of sleep.
Yes.
The gift of sleep. I know. I have this
Yeah.
tissue in my hand. I'm like, pardon me, I am getting over a cold. So, because
You're
the
fine.
last job wasn't as kind with the hours.
Oh. No heated rivalry there.
Yep.
No, no. They can't all be. We have to appreciate the good ones.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. That's amazing. Ashley told us of the struggle to keep the camera focused on that tiny puck on the ice. Was a hockey scene also the most challenging to shoot for continuity, or was it something else?
It was definitely something else.
Oh.
Um, I feel like if Hudson were in the room, he would completely agree with me. But for me and him in particular, the change room scenes were the hardest for continuity. There's scenes where he's talking to Hayden and he's got his cell phone going. So like, part of my job is, as I mentioned, the continuity. So we'd be shooting in a two shot, so they'd be talking, and he would be undressing and dressing and checking his phone on certain lines. And then we do coverage, and a piece of Hudson was always in the shot. So it was either his shoulder or it was his coverage. And it was always something different. I'm like, oh, now you're taking off your like armor, and now you're putting on the sweater. Oh, and this time you're checking the phone on that line. Like, so we had a lot of gentle teasing back and forth just because that guy just kept wanting to take off his clothes on certain lines.
Oh my gosh.
So I was in another room and I'd come back and we'd make eyes and he'd be like, ah, and I'd be like, no, sorry.
Oh, that's funny.
But we got it, and you
You
won't
got it.
know having watched it. We figured it out.
But yeah, like there's lots of pieces and who knows what's on and off at one time. Yeah, that sounds challenging.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm sure if you thought about like the minute you start thinking about it, you
Yeah.
you tend to overanalyze. So, part of my job is to not be so strict with like that sort of thing so that the actor has some freedom. But I was like, it's kind of hard to cut from like a naked shoulder to then a fully like dressed one in
Right,
two
right.
shots. So,
Yes.
mhm.
You can't tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks perfect.
Good. Well, then we both did our job right.
Yes, yes. Okay, on the flip side, what was the most enjoyable scene to shoot from your perspective?
Um, I will say one that probably gets talked about a lot, but just from my perspective, Connor had a Russian dialect coach that was there, not every day, but certainly the days that there was a lot of Russian being spoken. His father's funeral, for instance, many actors were speaking. And she was told to prompt me if there was anything incorrect, if a mispronunciation or, I think there was even some improv at some point, which was wild,
Crazy.
given that he learned Russian for the role.
Mhm.
Um, and I would say 9 times out of 10, she would tap my shoulder and she'd be like, Danny, who played Svetlana, oh, she had this mispronunciation, or Alexei had this. Connor nearly never had a slip. And the
Wow.
day we shot the tunnel scene where he's on the phone, and it is like a 6 minute
Hmm.
monologue that he is doing in Russian. And I turned to her at the end of the take to be like, yeah, like no problem. And she was crying and she looked at me and she went, my hero. Like
Oh
he
my
just, he
gosh.
perfected it. And it was like, we had a snow machine going. It was a really beautiful setting. He was so in the moment and he played it so beautifully and you know, it would have it would have hurt probably if I turned and she was like, "Ooh, didn't get it."
Yeah.
But like the fact that she was brought to tears and she was so proud of him and that was a really beautiful moment and it was such a compliment to his efforts.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
I'm tearing up.
so yeah, that was yeah.
That's really sweet.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And now that tunnel is featured in so many articles,
I know.
and
With
I mean, a
writing
lot of
all
fans
over
have
it.
gone there and reenacted the scenes.
Oh my gosh. I'm starting to worry. Are we going to be able to go to second season, or are people going to be waiting for us at these locations?
I think you might need security.
Well, one of the producers just sent me a message today, and it was the Airbnb listing for the cottage.
It was in the
So
New
you
York
can rent it
Times
there.
today. I just saw it while I was like browsing. It's all over the place.
It's,
I
I
hope
mean,
somebody booked the
it,
cottage already for season 2.
I think we're taken care of. I think they've figured out what they
Good.
need to. Nothing's gonna stop us. We're going to camera again. Don't worry, guys.
Awesome.
Yeah, I feel like March 3rd, when that goes live, Airbnb's website will be going down, crashed from
Yes.
all of the people wanting to
Trying to
book.
book the cottage. We'll be
I mean,
there.
if they're smart, they're gonna, yeah, me too. I think I'm gonna go.
Right?
I have my own reenactments that I want to work on.
Oh my goodness. Um, did you ever find yourself having to get super creative with a scene, like when Hudson and Connor alluded to breaking things on set and you didn't have the same replacement? And follow up, what did they break?
Everything? Those two are so exceptionally funny and weird. Um, I I honestly don't know where Jacob found them. I think another planet. They're like noodly weird men that like if they see a camera, they're gonna vamp for it. So I think the first time we did the big locker room scene, um, the famous behind shot, they were like they were putting their hair up in towels in between takes and pretending to do advertisements and then like pretzeling around each other between the lockers and like just being so wild and goofy. And you can imagine that's one space where that's fine, but anywhere else where there's things on countertops and
Right.
they're just knocking things over and everything, literally everything. People sometimes. I think I got whacked every like
Oh
I
my
was in the
gosh.
wrong noodle position.
Yeah.
So basically, they were giant toddlers.
Yes, truly. Yes,
Wow.
in the best way.
In the
In the
best
best
way.
way.
I love that.
Mhm.
Joyful toddlers.
Yes. They kind of cleaned up after themselves, so maybe like slightly better. I didn't have to
Just a
feed
little
them,
bit.
so that
That
was
yeah, there you
Bonus.
go. Happy giant toddlers.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Everything we've seen from a fan perspective shows a very cohesive and fun filming environment. What was the dynamic among the crew and what made it such a positive experience?
Well, I spoke to the 10-hour day thing, which
Yes.
just alleviates so much pressure off of us. But I think, spearheading that was Jacob Tierney and Brendan Brady. Jacob had such a concise vision. He could probably correct me, but I would say 10% of what we shot ended up on the floor, and you watched
Wow.
90% of what we shot,
Oh my
which
gosh.
is so unique. And it just meant that he was never wasting anyone's time. What we were shooting was what was meant to be seen by the audiences, and he didn't do too many takes. He didn't overexhaust our cast. He really knew what he wanted, and because of that, we got to have fun in between takes. We got to laugh. Like the technicians always need to do lighting, and there's always some setup time. This like hurry up and wait concept. So in the waiting, I actually it was Scott Hunter's apartment. Um, we shot it in the a hotel, and we had an adjacent room where we had our video village set up. And when we went to lunch, Jumanji, like Robin Williams' Jumanji was on TV. And so over lunch, 30 crew were spread out over two queen size beds, hugging the corners and watching Jumanji.
Oh my
And then when we
gosh.
came back, we were like, 5 more minutes, come on. Come on, mom and dad, just fine. You know, just it was like going to summer camp. It was
Oh my
really
gosh.
just, yeah, we were allowed to have fun. Um, and everyone was kind of included. There was no groups, like there was no cliques
Hmm.
and where it was like, okay, well, the art department only hangs with the art department. It was just everybody
Everybody.
was happy. Yeah. And that is because of Jacob and Brendan, full stop. They set that standard, and yeah, they made make going to work fun for everybody.
That's the ideal for everyone. That's great.
Yes.
It can be done, film
Yes.
industry. It can be done.
I think it just takes some prep and confidence, and they had
Good.
that, and we're gonna have it again. So yeah, it can be. Take note.
We talked about the tunnel and how memorable that was. Can you tell us of any other days that stick in your mind? You keep coming back to when you think fondly on season one filming.
Um, I mean, Ilya's house was a really fun one to shoot at too. I'm not a big hockey person, but there was hockey happening. And the crew again was sprawled out in the living room, and uh, I didn't make it to the cottage, sadly.
Oh
Um,
no.
I had, yeah, we
So
did
you
two
do
days of
need that
filming in
Airbnb.
Muskoka. I do. I'm not kidding. I need to get up there. So guys, let me have first run at that
You need
Airbnb.
first dibs.
Uh, exactly. Yes, I think I deserve it. Um, no, I had a movie premiering in New York, and I was fortunate enough to go
Cool.
with my two brothers. So it was like a really special trip. So sadly, I didn't make it. So the Friday was my last day of filming, and we shot at Lavelle, the rooftop, which played as Florida,
Hmm.
and then we ended at a different hotel, but it was just the boys all day. And the final scenes we did were just the two of them, and then I got wrapped out, and it was a really precious moment because
Oh.
Jacob made a little speech. I had lots of hugs and snuggles with the boys, and it was like a very emotional day. And it was just nice that the focus was on like our core group.
We won't see everybody, and I would be remiss if I did not point out how much Jenny Mac wants me to tell her that I love her. I do. Thank you very much, Jenny. You've been invaluable.
So yeah, that was a really special time. And like, I think Jackson Perel, who shot the show, made it look like Florida, which is insane because it was so hazy and smoggy that day in Toronto. It was like just we're like, okay, good luck. I hope I hope it works. And he did a fabulous job. So yeah, that one was personally special.
Very
That's
cool.
right. It does look very blue
It does.
in
It
those
does.
cool shots. Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, they can do magical things. Shout out to my brother who's a colorist because I think that's part of his world. He didn't do this show, to be clear, but a DP. I think a DP's best friend is a colorist at the end of the day.
That's amazing.
I was gonna say another memory was I showed up to set when we were shooting at the arena, and I asked where the monitors were, and Jacob's like, "Oh, they're out on the ice." And I was like, "What? Why do we have to be on the ice?" And I can't skate,
Oh
so
no.
I would hobble across the ice in the company with either our third AD Matt Crowley, or our stunt coordinator Cameron. They would like take me like an old lady, and I would get to my spot on the ice to give the notes. And I planted my stuff down. I have like a little stand on my computer, and I set everything up. And then I looked up and I was like, oh no. And it was the commercial with the camera pointing at the crew. So all of the people in the commercial, when they're doing the face off, that is our real crew. Jacob Tierney is directing it as the director. And I was like, I am not doing this. So I hobbled my way
So
off the
you're
ice,
not in the
and
shot?
no,
No. Oh my gosh.
I
I was just
just
gonna
couldn't do it.
ask.
Um, no. Um, but it's fun for like, our costume designer, Brendan Brady, all of those guys. There was like our focus pullers and some camera assistants, and our third AD Matt, our first AD Rob. There's a lot of us in the show. And,
Yeah.
maybe I'll be like a shoulder or something in the next season.
Just
Maybe I'll
just
give them
uh
a
just
little
an arm.
something.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
just I'll give them the Hudson special. I'll take a jacket off and put
Right.
it on in between takes.
We loved after Ashley told us that she's in the stands multiple
Yes.
times.
And
So we loved
Anne went and found her.
going through the video and finding her. That
Yes,
was
I saw that. That's incredible that you like found her. Yeah, she was stoked to do that. I mean, Ashley's so fun and boisterous. Like it made perfect sense. I I was like, you guys can't afford me. Sorry, I'm not gonna do it.
Oh, that's funny. How deep into the editing process did you get with Heated Rivalry? Did you have any hand in the post voiceover script continuity?
Um, no, I mean, as a script supervisor, you're providing daily notes that go into the edit and remain in the edit. So, down to if Jacob has a thought about, oh my God, that line from that take I want to happen here, I'm making those notations. So, preferred takes and ways we're going to cut around a problem if there is any, those all exist by written format in the edit room. I don't have the pleasure going in there. And I did make an argument once that I should be able to give notes on a cut, but the truth is I know the show too well, and sometimes you do need to distance yourself and not know all the ins and outs that happened. And that's why an editor isn't on the floor every day. It's good to receive it as content and not have the whole drama and sometimes that goes into a scene like, well, we got to use that because it took us over 6 hours to set it up, or
Right.
um but no, yeah, I'm represented in the edit suite through my notes.
As you know, Hated Rivalry has a very dedicated book fan base. Jordan and I both attended the Montreal premiere, and we could tell that fans really loved how the show brought the book to life. Was there a lot of pressure to adhere to the sacred text, as we call it?
Of course. Yes. uh it was fun. Rachel, obviously, she probably mentioned she came to set, and I mean, the line is that Jacob had the biggest job, obviously, of adapting the books into the show. Jacob had the job of taking the script from the book and making sure that he captured it correctly. As the script supervisor, I just made sure that we stuck to what was written. And it was funny because Rachel and I kind of fangirled over each other. I'm like, well, you're the reason we're here. And she's like, you get to watch all the words and the things. And so, my pressure laid in the fact that I just had to hold Jacob accountable and be like, "You wrote this. We got to do this."
This is what you want.
Yeah, this is what you wanted. We have to get it.
All right. Can you tell us about any Easter eggs that fans should look for on their rewatch or reheats of Heated Rivalry?
Well, I will say go look for our crew. Anytime we shot a commercial, there's crew. I think the only one that it isn't crew and it is actors is the soda commercial.
Oh, wow.
Because they had more interaction, but Hannah plays the costume designer in the same commercial that Brendan is the director of. And yeah, we're all kind of sneaky in there, and
Just
I'm
sticking around.
sure season two we're gonna get back in there again.
I love
There's kind
that.
of a rule with the actor, like you have to have so many BG, and because of the hockey days especially, like we maxed out the numbers, so there is a little give, and so yeah, don't be surprised if you see some screaming fans that you will recognize now.
Recognize.
Yeah.
I love that.
So, hopefully, in all of the turmoil and everything, you have had a chance to watch the show. What would you say is your favorite part of season one?
Um, I'm not sure if Ashley spoke to the fact that we shot on, and I'm gonna ruin it. Some people call it the volume, but it's this like audio visual wall. So
Yes.
it's replacing blue screen. Yes. So on the day, it's pretty incredible. Like they tie the playback to the cameras. So in Vegas, for instance, when they're walking, or the chair shot where he's dragging the chair from the living space into the bedroom, the camera is tracking and that visual wall is moving with that shot, which just on the day is very fascinating, and like it's this next level of filmmaking. Um, but we didn't know what that would like. I didn't know what it
What it's
would
going to
look
look like.
like in, yeah, like is it going to look as cool as what we're seeing, or are people going to know that it's not, we didn't fly around the world and go to sushi in Vegas on this like micro tiny budget? But it looked awesome. So I think from the jump, I was just so thrilled, and like big kudos to Jackson Prell, our DP. He did an exceptional job. He did take us around the world on our little budget. And and then I think the most, I don't want to take away from the pride and like love that I had for Hudson on the day, but the subtlety in which he brought the autism in his character to form was just, it was so well done. And like, I think because there was the balance of the goofy in between takes, I didn't appreciate it as much as I will going into season two. But he has such a subtle way of doing it, and that's exactly correct. Um, there are many forms of the spectrum, and it presents itself differently. But I think, as Rachel intended, that he really nailed that aspect of his character, and I didn't get to appreciate it until I saw it completely cut together. So, and the music. Jacob
Yeah.
had written a lot of those songs into the script, and I teased him about My Moon, My Man when we did the montage. I'm like, this is like a 20-minute montage, dude. But I actually timed it on the day when I watched it. I'm like, no, just over 5 minutes. Okay,
It
good
worked
job.
out.
It worked out. But
Wow.
yeah, the Wolf Parade moment was like, we filmed it on the day, and we had the moving shots, and James Premba, Ashley's counterpart for camera operators, like I've known him for years, and I know he's capable of great things, but you're still kind of just making the movie and like, okay, does that work? Will that connect? They're looking the right way. Okay, that's happening. So then to just get to watch it and live in the moment of it, and like, we thought we shot those in three locations, that swooping around with Scott and Kip on the ice, cutting to Shane at his parents' cottage, to then Ilya at his place. You don't, I had an appreciation of how it would come together, but you don't know, like with the music, how much that's going to make you feel the feelings. So
Yeah.
that was, yeah, so rewarding. I'm like, yeah, those eye lines all match.
And they did, and it was
And
amazing.
they did. Yeah.
Oh, the music is spectacular.
It is amazing. Yeah, it really ties
And
it all
and I
together.
love that he's used Canadian artists. Like they're just I can't speak highly enough about those guys. They're so great and they really respect our country and the talent that comes from it. And yeah,
They did
I
something
I
really
think they'll
special.
use yeah, and they're committed to keep doing it. I won't say more to that because I'll probably say something I'm not supposed to, but yes, they are
They're committed. They're
they
committed.
will they are committed and they will continue to be.
And we need to go look up all Canadian artists so we can figure out what's going to be a season
Get a
two.
jump on it.
Yeah, we can
Start
work on it.
predictions.
Yeah, I mean, think about the time frame too where we left the boys off. So you've
That's
got kind of an
true.
idea of what decade and see what you can come up with.
We're up for the challenge. Did you get to see the show before it was released, and how did you celebrate the release of the show?
No, I did not get to see the show
Oh,
before the
wow.
premiere. We were all invited to a special Toronto premiere, but the show that I just came off of was full throttle. So sadly, I didn't even get to make it to that, which is unfortunately often the case. I have barely gone to TIFF premieres just because of work. Um, so no, I think I was working like a night shoot the day that premiered on Crave, and it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I poured myself a glass of wine after work, and I curled up, and then that was the ritual. Every evening that it came out, I was finishing work, and I had that little moment by myself, and then my friend that was on the show, we would text back and forth, being like, "Oh my God, you believe that? That's so good. So good." I think I would have loved to have seen it with an audience and had that. Jacob was in Montreal when they aired the episode 5, and the scene, like just being a part of a scene, and it's like going to a sporting event. Like I would have loved that, but I do. It was really nice to just appreciate it and be like very honest about my reaction and being like, I love this. Like this is really good. And I think if I was around people, I'd be like, I want to play it cool.
Right,
No big
yeah. Don't get
deal.
too much.
Yeah. So yeah, I like it would have been nice, but it was also really nice to truly like devour it on my own.
Yeah, that's cool.
As we all have
Yes,
multiple times.
yes.
As the world has. Yeah.
What are you looking forward to seeing in season 2 of the show?
Yeah, do you know what's going to
Um,
happen in season two?
well, as Brendan Brady told me, he's like, you could just pick up a book and get a good inclination. So I think I kind of owe that. And I'm so curious too, because having been introduced to the text of it via Jacob's voice and not Rachel's, I am very curious, like, to go the other way this season. So I do intend to read the books. Um, but I think what I look forward to the most is like going back to summer camp, seeing my old friends, many of whom I do keep in touch with. I've just been getting text blasts from our on-set costume person and our set dresser, who also is the goalie. So that yet another cameo of our crew.
Oh, that's
Arthur
cool.
Is
was the
that Arthur?
goalie. Yes.
I reached out to him. He said he's really busy till mid-March and then try again.
Yes. Yeah, he's on Blue Bloods, I think, right now still.
Oh, cool.
But we're gonna get together on Saturday to watch Connor on SNL. So
Oh,
they're
fun.
calling out what snacks we're gonna bring and all the other things. So, but yeah, Jackson and a bunch of our team are up in Nunavut right now, shooting North of North. So they're
Mhm.
getting this like mini reunion that I'm extremely jealous of. And yeah, we're just happy to have the all the old team back and yeah, go back to our summer camp.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was there a prop that you really wanted to take home? We've gotten some fun answers to this question. So.
I'm so curious because I keep thinking, like, I thought about this. I'm like, what props? Like, I mean, we had a comical version of the cup before we landed on the one that came to camera.
Oh.
A- Uh, we did shoot a moment, and I grew up in Edmonton when the Oilers won back-to-back Stanley Cups, and my parents were very fortunate to be friends with some of the players on the team. So I have a picture of my dad hoisting up the Stanley Cup in one of the players' backyards. And I remember suddenly like going through my phone and finding this picture and kind of nudging towards Brendan Brady, our producer, and I'm like, this is what this looks like. And this looks like this, not this. So I was in the car. Brendan drove me to work when we did Guelph Days. Because again, going further than any other producer and team member, he was like, "You're a single department. You don't get to ride in with anyone. I'll drive you so you can like sleep more." So I
Aww.
was in the car with him, and Jacob called him, and he was like, "Dude, this like trophy, I can't remember what we had to call it, but he's like," and Brendan was like, "Dude, we're reshooting it. Don't worry, don't think about it. We're doing it again. We're making it bigger. It's gonna be good." And like within 2 seconds, I was like, "I got you. Don't worry about it. We're doing it." So I think comically speaking, I would like the first cup.
The
That would
one
be
that's
my
not
takeaway
pictured.
prop. The one that didn't make it.
I love
And
that. The
just show
reject cup.
every, yeah, I want the reject cup.
Now I'm really curious what it looks like. It's funny.
Smaller.
Smaller. Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I might win. I think you just won best
Yep.
prop that you would
Yep.
steal.
Amazing.
Yep.
What
You
did
are the
Ashley
winner.
say that she was gonna, what she wanted?
She wanted the jersey
Oh, that she was
wore in
wearing.
the stand.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah, that's a good one too. I want a jersey.
Yeah. They should have given you all jerseys. I can't believe you didn't get a jersey.
Well, we got t-shirts with the teams, and it's so funny because I didn't even like consider it. I was like, oh, well, the Admirals, I guess, has this like, I mean, everything was phallic by design, but I
Right.
thought that one was like maybe the most you could get away with it wearing it in public. No, like they all, and now they're all recognizable. But I do wish I should have gotten a Boston or a Metros just to have like the home team. But you know, gotta represent Scott Hunter too. So
Yeah,
I
there
do
you
have an
go.
Admirals t-shirt. Yeah,
Very nice.
Well, next season you get Centaurs, and that's the best team ever. So
Yes.
perfect.
The Centaurs gear.
yes.
I know you guys have like this leg up on me on reading the books. I feel at a disadvantage. Tell me everything.
We're happy to host a book club if you
Yep.
need one.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're
Okay,
happy to
great.
do that. Yeah.
Perfect.
Basically, the Centaurs are the best, and the Metros are the enemy. So that's basically season 2.
Oh, spoilers, Anne. Spoilers.
Wow.
But I guess you'll find out
Well,
soon.
now you've definitely given me a reason to crack open the books. If I can get
I'm
one,
trying to motivate
Oh,
you.
yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah.
doing. Yeah.
you've done it. I'm so curious. Although there is like kind of this nasty side to like Shane on the ice. So,
Mm.
you know, he had those moments with Scott where he was being a little flippant and rude. So I could see it. I could see that turning.
That scene was fantastic. Oh,
Very,
those,
very good.
I mean, I loved it when they were angry with each other because I'm like, this is real acting. These guys love each other so much that like, here you go, get into it.
we love it.
Yeah.
So, being Canadian, what was the most Canadian thing you noticed while watching the show?
I mean, turning the camera around, we've got some East Coast ADs, some West Coast people. Like the crew is probably um, a very diverse group of Canadians. I don't know. Watching the show, I mean, Hamilton is such a major film center now, and so I'm so accustomed to a lot of these locations that, when we did the draft picks, we shot that at the Hamilton Convention Center, I want to say, um, which I've done like three different movies at, and so I'm like, oh, those walls, like that texture of that environment. I'm like that, you know. But that said, like again, credit to Jackson. It doesn't feel like it feels like that because I've been there and I know it because I was there physically. But watching it, he really did transform those spaces with a huge aid from our production design team as well. Um, so it's hard to say, I think Hayden has the most Canadian accent out of the bunch.
See, I would go with the bro in the Straw Plus Berry who notices
Oh yeah.
because indeed
Oh,
Who's supposed to be New
yes,
Yorker?
New Yorker. I know.
Was that Scott Hunter?
Was that what?
Scott Hunter, the hockey player.
I think I had a moment too with Jacob where I'm like, "Mm." He's like, it's fine. It's fine.
It's
Actually, I will
fine.
say
it's fine.
we shot was it yeah, it was at the Royal York. We shot Scott Hunter's apartment at the Royal York. And it was so funny to me because of all of the volume stuff that we shot where we had the different backdrops. We were shooting at that one building in Toronto skyline that looks like a waterfall that has the lights that kind of trickle down. And I'm like, that doesn't exist in New York. Like that sort of
It's
lighting and
too
new building
distinctive.
texture. It's yeah, and like I there was a couple of eye rolls for me that I'd be like, eh. And they'd be like, oh my God, Jenny, nobody cares about that. Like it's two gorgeous men making out. Like who cares about the background?
He had a point.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I did not
that was a lot of
notice.
his winning. Yeah. He won a lot of arguments with that one.
Oh my gosh.
Rachel said she noticed the Sobeys bag when
Yes.
Francois was running
When
down the street. I love
yeah.
that one. That's amazing. That was a
Yeah,
good
but
one.
that one was funny too because we shot at a corner and what was it called? There was oh, it was like the not it wasn't like Flatiron, but there was a coffee shop that had like a very New York name attached. And I'm like, well, that's so weird. Like we never filmed that. But I'm like, what a strange coincidence. And then and that lady, I remember our third AD is like, I cannot lose this woman. Like she will not get out of this shot. And of course, Francois was like in it with his headphones and running, and the boy can run, so we just had to live with it. Yeah, but no Tim Hortons. We
That's
True.
true.
avoided
Did not. I did
No
not
not a
Tim
see.
single
Hortons.
Tim's,
Not a Tim
and
Hortons.
Hamilton is
That was
riddled
a
with Tim's.
challenge.
So that was
I
yeah.
mean, even what Game of Thrones had a Starbucks cup, so you came out on top.
Yeah.
A Sobeys bag. Who's to say that that's not a little bodega in New York that happens to have
Exactly.
the same name?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
believable.
yeah.
Okay. If there is one previous project that you've worked on that you'd want fans of Heated Rivalry to watch, what would that be?
Well, I'm blessed that Ashley gave me a freebie because I would have said sort of. But I'm really proud of the movie that I took some time off to go see the premiere of. It's called Everything's Going to Be Great. It is now available to rent on Amazon Prime.
Oh.
It's a really special movie. It was written by the same writer of I, Tonya, Steve Rogers. It's Bryan Cranston and Allison Janney are a family that put on local theater productions, and it's set in the late 80s. It's kind of like a Little Miss Sunshine, warm-hearted family comedy, and My dad passed away while we were making it, and one
Oh,
of the really kind things that the filmmakers did for me was put a dedication to my dad at the end of the movie.
oh,
So it's it's a really special movie for me personally, but it also is just a very sweet film, and I want everyone to see it. So I highly recommend that one.
write that down.
Okay, we will put it in the YouTube. We will link to Amazon Prime.
Please do. Thank you.
I'm gonna go make my husband download that tonight.
Go look that up immediately.
It's a really lovely watch, and it's a very, yeah, it's and you'll once you watch it, you'll appreciate why it's so special to me too.
Thank you. That sounds amazing. Can you tell us anything about upcoming projects, if you're allowed to, that we can look for?
Yes, I just finished a Netflix series called The Body. It's its first season. It's about a Catholic schoolgirl dance troupe, and there is a sort of questionable mythological twist to it.
Interesting.
It is also queer content, and it's a big ensemble cast. They're all newcomers. If you've ever seen the show, the British series Skins, I would liken
Hmm.
it very much to that. So that's coming out probably October of this year. And I have another movie called Tuner. It's doing the festival rounds. It's Dustin Hoffman and Leo Woodall, and he's a piano tuner. Hopefully, we'll be hitting theaters. It's still doing its festival run right now, so hopefully that will come out in theaters soon.
Awesome.
You have the coolest things. I mean, all
Yeah,
those
those are
premises,
awesome.
those are all like, I need to watch this. So I
Well,
love that.
I had a funny crossover too because I went to Tell Me Lies right after Heated Rivalry, and there has been like where there's crossovers. This is weird, but I was meant to do both. Yeah, I've had a good, I've had a good run. I continue to have some good runs. So,
Definitely.
Our last question comes from a friend in Vancouver. So I think I have figured out how to play it.
We have
I
a
did this
video
beforehand
question.
to make sure I could do it. We have a video
amazing.
question. So I still have it up. Good for me. Okay, we're making progress. So just, I'm going to play it. Let me know if you can't hear her, but I'm going to turn my volume up so you should be able to. So here we go.
Hi, my name is Stephanie. I work in props in Vancouver. Um, I would like to know what it is like working in a department of one, especially with all of the things that you are responsible and semi responsible for. Also, thank you for keeping all of us in check.
Oh, it's amazing.
So that's our friend and archery expert. She's on a show with archery right now.
Amazing.
So
I mean,
Stephanie in
probably
Vancouver.
the coolest. They get to learn how to do. I remember I worked on a movie with an astronomer, and I watched my friend who's the props break apart a telescope. No, but he learned how to take it all apart and put it back together because it called for it in the scene that this character would do that. And I'm like, you guys get to do such cool, like, if I was a little more creative, I think that's where I'd want to be. So shout out to your friend because she's got a really cool job. Um, I am a department of one, but I think the thing that always attracted me to the job is that I talk to everyone on set. I have a reason to talk to camera, to art department, costumes, hair, makeup, everybody. So yeah, I don't really feel like I'm alone. I get to kind of shoulder up to everybody, and I sit next to the director, so we often feel like a team. And Yeah, and we, as much as I have their backs and like I'm keeping track of their things for other departments, I love it when someone comes up to me and they're like, "Did you notice this?" I'm like, "No, there's 10 people in the scene." So, uh, yeah, I have a very collaborative job, and yeah, it never feels lonely.
That's amazing.
Yeah. All right. So in every single one of these, we finish up with a series of rapid fire questions. They're this or that, and you just pick one, whichever one that appeals to you. And they're kind of fun. So the first one is Coke or ginger ale?
Oh, ginger ale. I'm downing so much ginger ale right now. I love it.
A good choice. How about All the Things She Said or I'll Believe in Anything?
I'll believe.
It's a good one.
Have you listened to the new piano solo version? That
Oh
is out
no,
now.
but I'm going to the minute we hang up.
It's out now. It's fantastic.
Amazing.
The chair drag or Scott lifting Kip?
Chair drag.
Chair drag.
Side note, that was the prop I picked that I would take from the set.
Anne has a tattoo of the chair.
Did you really? Oh, that's amazing. Now, is it being dragged or is it upright?
I guess it depends when I move my arm. It's upright, but
Oh, but you
when
can
I
drag
move my arm,
If you move, you can drag it. I love that.
Amazing.
yes. My first Heated Rivalry tattoo I actually got way before the show, but it's a quote from season 2, so I won't tell you. And then I added the chair and the cottage and some cottage keys and a little Canadian flag.
Oh my. I think
I
we're
love
as a crew. I know Connor have a tattoo, but I'm going to strongly encourage a match of tattoos for the crew.
Yes. Real or fake candles?
Fake. From a production standpoint.
There you go.
Fake. Yeah.
Yes.
Tuna melts or burgers?
We laughed so much about the tuna melt thing. We're like, who wants to hook? So I'm gonna say burger.
I think that's fair.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yes. How about
They-
oh, go ahead.
Oh, burgers was supposed to be Mexican originally, so it was gonna
Oh,
be
really?
yeah, tuna melts or tacos, but a little trivia.
A little Oh, that's cool.
That's cool. That's cool. How about French or Russian?
Oh, Russian. Married to a French man too. Sorry,
We won't tell him.
Yes. The Canada fleece or Ilya's club shirt?
the fleece.
The
Hannah
fleece.
crushed it with the fleece. Fleece, and it's really cozy.
I want a fleece so bad.
Yeah, that's what I wrap wish was truly. That's a great.
Definitely.
Yes. We did it. Thank you so much,
Yay.
Jenny Mac, for joining us. And please check back soon for more Heated Rivalry Love on Loon Lovers Live.
I couldn't have a better topic. Just happy to share all the love that we have for this show, and so grateful that the love is returned. So thank you so much for having me.